Hello, welcome to Synchronex 3.7. First thing we're going to do is enter the test environment URL into your browser. Now the good thing is I'm in Chrome right now, and the good thing is that you can use any browser with Synchronex 3.7. In the past, Synchronex 3.6, we only were allowed to use it in Internet Explorer 8, which is very limiting. So this is a new thing. I have added a bookmark bar as the address, so I'm going to click on that, and then this address right here is what you'll enter into your browser, and then this screen will pop up. We would highlight Denver Post, but it's already highlighted, and then you click the submit button. You put in your username. Now your username is the same username and password that you have for our current Synchronex, which is Synchronex 3.6. So you'll enter your credentials in. If you don't have a username and password for Synchronex, please contact Angelo Rivera at arivera@denverpost.com. So let me enter the password, and then submit button. Now you can see that this is quite different. It has opened up to the data entry tab. We don't even have a data entry tab on the current Synchronex, and you'll note that returns and weekly tabs have disappeared. So they're no longer in 3.7. The other thing you might notice from this page that's quite a bit different is that there is no way to enter your returns audit report to retrieve it. So those of you that are required to turn those in with your returns, you will have to click on the Reports tab, and you'll see it right here. The Return Audit Report is here in the Reports tab. Now, we have an entire learning module on the reports page, and we'll go over everything because of course that has changed too, the return audit report. So we'll go over that in a future module. So let's get back to data entry. On the left hand side you'll notice there are different things that you can click on, and but most of us will be working in the adjustment and returns section of this. So it looks a little different, and I'm going to show you that one of the reasons that there's no more weekly tab is that it allows you to enter a from date. So let's do just 1 day entry. So we'll pick today's date from and today's date to as identical. So then we'll be working on today's date. Choose a manifest and then click on the Find button. And this is the view that you'll see and how it appears. Okay, and this is just an example for you. So we're going to discard the session, and that way nothing will be saved. See right in there it says you're about to discard this data entry session. No changes associated with this data entry will be saved. So we're going to click yes. Okay, so let's do 3 days. So let's do the 23rd to the 25th, and then hit find. It's a little more data, so it's taking a little longer time. And this is what it looks like. It shows you 3 days, so you can enter maybe weekend returns, or if you haven't done it in the last 2 days, you can do them all together. It's a nice feature. So we're going to do the same thing, discard the session, so we don't want to do anything yet to that. And then this is, of course, why weekly returns have disappeared, is that, I'm sorry, let's do a current week, and so you can look at a week's worth of returns and enter. So there is no reason to have a separate tab any longer, because it allows you to do that. Okay, more data, so longer time. Okay, and then this is all 5 days view. It's great. So let's go back, discard session, and then let's do today's date. So let's do, take a look, do 308, and find. Okay, I'm going to enter some adjustments. Okay, here is the adjustment column, so everything down here, and then the return column over to the right hand side. It appears different than it does now, but those are still in the same order. So I'm going to do some adjustments, and I'm going to do 3 different adjustments, and they're going to equal 0. Okay, to do this I'll have to do the same publication. So I'll do a -1, a -1, and then a +2. Okay, and I do want to point out that when you're going down the adjustment column, you just hit the enter key, sends you straight down any column. Just like if you're in the return column, you're going to hit enter after everything is going to go straight down. If you hit the tab, it will go and keep going to the open box. Okay, so some people like to do that if they're doing a lot of adjustments, but most of us just like to go straight down the column. I want you to please note that the Finish Now button is available for me to click on because my adjustments equal 0 for the same publication. But for this exercise, I'm going to Finish Later. And what Finish Later does is allows me to save everything I've entered and still add to it later on. So let's do Finish Later. Now there's a little bit different. Now it shows my open sessions. So 308 on 125 is still open because I hit Finish Later. So I'm going to, this time, instead of doing my date to and from, I want to go right into that session again. So now it sends me here, the same place I was. Now I'm going to do it wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit in the adjustment -2, enter. Immediately you'll notice at the top that your total adjustments must be 0 before you can finish a session popped up. And also Finish Now has disappeared. There's only Finish Later and Discard Session. And also if you scroll down to the bottom of the page where it keeps track of the draw and the adjustments, it shows that there's -2 New York Times without equaling 0. So it's still in a -2. Now I'm going to add to a New York Times. Notice that the alert disappeared and the Finish Now button is there because it realizes that you're at equal to 0, and down at the bottom it says 0. Now let's enter some returns. So we go into the return column. We have 1 return for the USA Today, then 1 return, 1 return, 1 return, 1 return, and 1 return. We go down all the way down to the page, entering our returns for the day. Okay, if you get down to the bottom and hit to enter, it'll pop you to the top. Okay, right here, if you press on the two, this shows that you're currently on page 1. If you want to go to page 2, click on page 2. You can also click Next. That will take you to it. Or if you want to go to the back page, you can hit Last. So let's just go Next. And we didn't have any returns on this page. So let's go Next. And we've come to the end of the route. So we have some returns that we want to enter. Okay, so we can finish now if we never want to make any changes to this session. But the second page, we still don't have all the returns in there, so we're going to hit Finish Later. Okay, now you've found page 2 in the back seat of your car. So you're ready to enter those returns. So you're going to click on the session, go to page 2, and enter those returns that you found. Okay, now we are done. We have all our returns on page 1, we have all our returns on page 2, we have all of them on 3, so we are ready to finalize. We don't have any closed dealers, there's no reason for us to ever go back and enter these returns, so we can click on Finish Now. And you notice that it tells you that the session has been finished and is ready to save. I wanted to just show you that you can enter the mobile site from the desktop version on your PC. This will allow you many advantages while entering. You click on Mobile Site on the left-hand side of the screen. Come down up here, you click on the drop-down, you choose the manifest 308, and then hit the Find button to go to your manifest. But I wanted to point out that there is a desktop version link right here that and it shows on almost all the screens, so you can just click on that to return to your desktop version from the mobile site. So I'm going to click Find. Your next location will appear. You click on the Arrive button. The data entry screen pops up for this location, and you can see you can enter adjustments or you can enter returns. I also wanted to know that if you need to enter returns that are not yesterday's, so if they were a week old or 2 days old, you would use this icon right here. It's a newspaper with a green plus sign, that icon right of the return box. If you click on that, it opens up 10 pages or 10 days of entries that you can put in returns here. So you can enter a return from several days ago, and then scroll down to the bottom and click the Done button. After hitting the Done button, it'll return you to the normal return entry screen. So you would have to scroll down and then click on the Next button to get to your next account. This is how you navigate through the mobile site. Is on each location, you click the Arrive button, you enter your returns, you scroll down to the bottom, and you go Next. And you do this until you come to the end. At the end, It won't have a next button, it'll have a finish session button. Click on finish session when you've entered all your returns. After clicking on the finish session button, the finish data entry session window will appear. Click on the yes button when you want to enter all your returns. If you need to navigate around your route to different locations, the easiest way to do that is go up to the top and click Find Account, and then scroll through the account you want to find and enter a return on. Click on it. It will appear, hit Arrive, and you'll be able to enter that return. If you've gone back in and entered returns and you want to, in the middle of your route, want to finish your session and don't want to go all the way back to the last account, just click on Finish Session at the top and then Yes for Finish Session. If you want to return to the home screen or go back to the desktop version, there's two ways you can do that. You can come up to the top and click on the Home button, or you can just go down here and click on the desktop version link and it will take you back to your home screen. Notice here that you can enter current edited sessions, or you can enter a to and from date, choose a manifest, and then click Find, and you are back into the regular view of the desktop version. I just wanted to go over one more time that if you click on Finish Later, it will save all your entries, but it will not enter them into Synchronex for credit. Only Finish Now button will do that. Okay, that's it for the desktop version of how to maneuver, how to navigate through the data entry page, the changes that have been made, the draw adjustments, how to do them, and how to enter returns and finish your sessions. So the only other thing that we have to do, your next step, of course, is to click on the Activities button in Moodle, but also I wanted to let you know that there's a resource available for your next activity if you get stuck. Of course, you can review this video anytime you want to, but also in the Moodle page there's a manual that you can take a look at and will answer any of your questions. Thank you.